push harder, grind more, sleep is for the weak, outwork everyone. Now we hear this all the time, and not just in football culture, but with all of these social media gurus and the personalities that we see on TV. It's an old school mentality that says to be the best, you have to sacrifice everything. But what if I told you that this mentality, when taken to this extreme, is a trap, a scientifically proven path that instead of making you elite, actually wrecks your focus, will kill your motivation, and puts your career on a fast track to burnout. Now my name's Mark Bowden, and I work with top Premier League and international players on their mental performance. I'm also the author of Use Your Brain, Raise Your Game, and I've seen this burnout trap up close. I've seen how it can derail promising careers, and today I'm going to expose to you the lie by looking at what the brutal no pain, no gain philosophy actually does to your brain. Now let's be clear, hard work is non-negotiable. You don't reach the top without dedication, but the idea that you have to sacrifice your well-being for performance is based on a complete misunderstanding of how your brain and your body adapt and thrive. Now, the old school belief that pushes you to ignore rest, sleep, your mental health will lead directly to a state of chronic stress. Now, this isn't just feeling a bit tired. It's a condition that neuroscientists call allostatic overload. Now think of it like this. Think of driving a high performance car in the red line. It's going to be fast and thrilling, but eventually that engine is going to break down, and that breakdown in your brain and your body is burnout. And it's not a maybe, it's a biological certainty if you stay on that path. So what is actually happening in your brain when you're caught in this burnout trap? Now the science reveals three major breakdowns. Firstly, you get HPA axis dysfunction. Now that sounds complicated, but here's what it means. It means that your body is getting flooded with the stress hormone cortisol, and the system that is supposed to regulate it breaks. Chronically elevated levels of cortisol will actively impair your prefrontal cortex, which is like the CEO of your brain. And what this is going to do is it's going to lead to a measurable drop in your ability to focus, to make smart decisions, and to regulate your emotions. Now, you're not just going to become tired, you're going to make terrible decisions on the pitch because your brain's command center has now been compromised. Now, secondly, is you get autonomic nervous system imbalance. And here, your nervous system has two main modes. So it has the sympathetic, which is your fight or flight, and then the parasympathetic nervous system. So this is your rest and digest, the break and repair system. What burnout does is it gets you stuck in the sympathetic dominance. You're constantly on high alert, even when you're off the pitch. And this is going to prevent that crucial shift into this parasympathetic state. And this is absolutely required for your recovery. Now you're constantly breaking your body down without giving it the biological signal to rebuild. Third, and perhaps the most devastating for a footballer, is what's known as neurotransmitter dysregulation. Now, the chronic stress within you can deplete or mess up the regulation of key brain chemicals. And the two key ones here are serotonin and dopamine. Now, dopamine is your motivational and drive chemical. Serotonin is key for your mood and your well-being. Now, when this gets dysregulated, it leads directly to low mood, poor motivation, and anxiety. Now, that fire that you once had for the game, it starts to flicker out. And you don't just feel physically exhausted, you lose your drive. And it's all because of a reduction of these key neurochemicals. Now, the combination of a foggy brain, a body that can't recover, a motivational crash, all of this is the neurobiological underpinnings of burnout. It directly sabotages the very performance that you were trying to improve. So what's the alternative now? The alternative is a paradigm shift that every elite player that I work with has had to embrace. The truth is, true, sustainable, high performance is based on a foundation of well-being. It is this very platform that enables you to perform at peak consistently over a long career. Now think about it. A well-rested, mentally healthy brain has the resources to handle the acute stress of a tough training session or a high-pressure match. A burnt-out brain just doesn't. Your brain and body are constantly striving to maintain a stable internal environment. And this state is called homeostasis. Well-being is simply simply a state of good homeostatic balance. And it's from this stable base that all elite performance grows. And in my football mind gym, we don't just focus on the on switch for performance, we actively train the off switch too, conditioning the mind to embrace recovery and well-being as essential performance tools. Now, if you're interested in taking a look at this platform that is currently being used by hundreds of footballers, go to the link in the description or in the pinned comments. But getting back to it, this no pain, no gain mentality, which tells you to sacrifice your sleep, your rest, your mental peace, it is not a sign of toughness. It's a biological trap. It's an outdated idea that science has now proven to be counterproductive. The toughest and the smartest and the most successful players understand that working hard and recovering smart are two sides of the same coin. They know that high performance comes from a healthy, resilient, and adaptive nervous system. Now, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been motivated by some of these motivational videos? Or have some of these gurus made you drift out of the unhealthy balance between hard work, recovery, and actually enjoying life? Or have you seen it happen to others? Let me know in the comments, because I'd be incredibly interested. And if this video has given you a new perspective on training and recovery, please hit that button and subscribe, as this channel will give you more insights on building your elite football brain. And if you do want to check out my football mind gym, remember, it's in the comments below. So train hard, but recover harder, and make sure that you enjoy life. That is the real secret, and I'll see you in the next video.